Welcome back, and we're getting right into the thick of it. As the quick recap, the large watery aquatic figure just tore the gantry that you guys had previously walked across and like folded it over. Now it's kind of like wrapped back on itself, and he like tears it off, and like you see it now just like basically just on like barely attached, like resting over the top of the submersible that you guys were in, and he's like not on the gantry itself so much as like his form is like engulfing it and then still reaching above it. He's, a very sizable portion of water that just is like roiling over the top, and you see like a similar skeletal structure, like way more defined in this creature. And as it bellows out, you hear a very low kind of rumbling, gargling, kind of like, and it's like letting a deep roiling out voice. What languages do you guys speak?
Just basic.
I don't know.
Just basic.
Common, Lashunta, and Actonian.
Okay.
Common, Ysoki, Acatonian, Lashunta, and Binary.
Okay.
I didn't even know.
It would be common, your home planet, and
Sharon.
whatever your race
Sharon
is.
and Versisian.
Parisian?
Parisian.
Sure.
Parisian, yes.
Okay. And
Omelette du fromage.
yours is probably a no. Alright, so none of you recognize the language.
What is he saying, Mo?
And Mo just like looks back at you and he's just like struck with fear, and he's just like, I don't know.
I'm just looking at the thing. I'm not even paying attention to Mo.
And from that point,
Oh, that's nice.
you see it just all of a sudden just, and it's like it throws its arms up in the air, and you hear below you a very loud,
I want to sense motive.
and it's now like gripping the sides of the gantry that it's on, and it's letting out another bellowing roar. Its motive seems very hostile. As you guys are gonna go ahead and roll initiative.
20.
Do you add like a dex to this, or do you just
Yeah.
do this?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have anything else that modifies your initiative,
Yeah, I've been doing that, but
Hey man, that's a good thermos right there.
all right. So what do you guys have?
20.
20.
Slansish.
20. And
Okay.
21 for Buzz.
Well, Buzz is out of commission.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Buzz is hell out of commission.
He got
So you got
KO'd.
20. You got
20.
20. You got.
His dex modifier is probably
I'm
higher than
reading the
mine.
9.
Mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
13.
It's only
13.
one.
Okay.
Oh, really?
All right. So
Solarians are mainly
So-
melee, it seems like.
Well, yeah, but still, like,
Ted is before Soren.
I don't know, I
You
think,
had how much was it again?
at least in D&D,
Yeah,
dex
13.
can be for
13?
melee too, so.
All right. So
probably goes Tet, Soren, me,
I'm first? Whoa.
Skada, or interchanging Chase somewhere.
you actually are going to be preceded by the elemental itself.
Well,
Watery figure scored a 21.
We are so bunched up.
oh look at that.
And as you see it standing,
we're not even, like, in
standing in
spaces.
place,
We're like.
that's where you guys are at right now. You guys, you're
Well,
on
I'm
this
just
side of
saying
it.
we're not even like inside of spaces where some of us are
right
on top of each other.
You basically like the two of you. I was gonna say like were, here and like there basically. You guys were just entering the doorway as this large figure was there, and Chase has the tide collar strung kind of over his shoulder. So the elemental, you see it now, just like the watery elemental, just, and then you see it once more pulling its arms up, and you would hear a very audible as suddenly the water level starts to begin to visibly rise at a very accelerated pace. So, Tet, go ahead and it's your turn.
Shit. Question. Can I take one of my battery packs that I can use as an ammo? And can I, like, wire it or rig it somehow to go in a feedback cycle and then explode, aka a homemade grenade, because I do not have grenades on me.
All right, you're gonna have to do an engineering check, and it's gonna be a high DC based on the amount of time that you're trying to do it.
Let's do it.
It's gonna be a full round action.
It's a 13 for engineering.
13 engineering.
Yep.
You're like trying to put it together. It like shorts out.
Okay.
It's not gonna be the case. You don't think it's gonna work, unfortunately.
Yeah, I thought that was
Got
a
it.
taking point.
You were taking point.
Well, whatever. Yeah, I was
Switch-
just I just
yeah,
put everybody in
Mo.
there. So,
Switch Mo in.
however you guys want to be set. I mean, that's why. Anyways, all right. So that's the end of your turn.
Yep.
Soren, you're up. First point of attunement.
Yep. And that's going. That went into Solarian or
Okay.
Solar.
All right. So you solar attune. You begin to do that. Your mode's starting to glow. What are you doing?
I'm gonna take a shot at him with my pistol since I still have that readied.
All right.
That
So
is
you
full load.
you're standing in the doorway. You take a shot.
That's nothing. That's an 11.
Nope, that does not hit. You see it glance the side of its shoulder, and it like barely, even does superficial, damage to its form. Doesn't even seem to react to it. That's your That's your first action. Are you gonna do full action, or are you gonna move? What are you doing?
I think I should move.
Wait, what did you roll? You rolled a 10, but you shot him?
Yeah.
With what?
My pistol.
But don't you do a ranged attack?
Okay, that would be 13.
13? 13 still doesn't hit.
Yeah.
All right. What are you doing?
I'm gonna move in. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, and take a position there.
All right. That's the end of your turn.
Yep.
Chase is gonna be up, and he's like looking over you guys. He's looking at the guy he's holding, and he's like, I don't know. I mean, you guys are gonna have to clear the way here, and that's gonna be all he can do, really, because he's got everybody in front of you. Zedix,
Okay.
we'll say for the purposes of this, you had time to reload.
Okay.
In that time frame.
Why did we do that?
That thing is almost done.
We don't know. D had just put it up there. The water's rising.
So yeah, I reloaded. I'm taking a shot from where I am right now at him.
All right.
The pistol or the rifle?
My sheer knife rifle.
Good.
Okay.
Is it done?
Oh.
Nope, not yet.
That is ranged 9.
9 does not hit.
Okay. I'm
Alright,
just
you
gonna
see-
reload now.
Fires past. All right. So you go ahead and you're reloading.
Yep.
It's gonna be Skada.
Okay. I am going to use a get him. Get him. Get him.
Okay.
Get him. Get him.
So get him. You're going to be doing what with that? You're just using.
I'm going to just shoot him.
Okay.
With my gun boy.
All right.
The
so-
get him, yeah, because it's within 60 feet.
Yep. And he's within that range.
So
So
starting next turn, I get +1 morale bonus to attack rolls
okay, for you or for everybody.
everybody.
Okay. All right. So that's a standard action or a full action?
That is a. That I don't remember.
You want to have those in there?
A move action.
Nope.
It's a move action.
All right. So it's a move action.
Yeah.
All right. So you use your movement.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you used your movement. Now you have just a standard action.
Yep. I'm gonna shoot him.
All right. So go ahead and make your shot.
+1.
13,
Here.
16 plus that one, 17.
17 hits.
Nice.
Go ahead and
Yeah, finally.
You're doing it, Peter.
You're believing.
One.
1.
Yep.
All right. So your shot connects. You see its form, and then reforms. And this thing seems to be made of very heavier stock.
It's the end of my turn.
All right. That's the end of your turn.
Yeah,
All
'cause
right.
I can't move. or anything,
All right.
so.
And Model Ra, he's just looking at you guys, and he's like, what? He kind of runs in. He's like, well, all right. And he runs around, and he's going to plant himself here, and he's going to take a shot. 16 hits.
Hotel, motel.
Holiday
3 damage.
DC-16.
Motel 6.
All right.
Hotel 16.
So, as he fires off, you hear another loud, and you see now that the water level, which was previously about a foot shorter than the edge, is now flush with that, and it seems to be getting higher. All right,
Oh
So-
boy.
top of the order again. The elemental now is going to slide forward, and it's going to be kind of moving into this area. And you see now, as it's standing there, it just and it starts to, you see now, like, get down, and it actually like submerges underneath the water,
I don't like this looks of that.
and you see it disappear from your immediate vision. Tet, your turn.
Is the ship still docked?
It's
like,
still
down
there. It's got this large piece of the gantry now draped over the back of it, and it's like wrapping over portions of like the engine.
So we gotta
Is the hatch open still, or is it closed?
It's closed.
Okay.
We gotta try to get rid of that stuff then.
I'm just gonna move. I was right there, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 into the corner right over here next to Soren.
Okay.
And can I ready an action?
Yeah. What are you trying to do?
Ready a
Like a
shot
like a
for when the
standard
thing
action?
comes back.
Yeah, sure.
'Kay.
Absolutely.
Just ready and waiting.
All right. So that's the end of your turn. Soren,
Yes, it is.
Second point of attunement. What are you doing?
Second point of attunement's going in, and I am gonna holster my pistol and get my solar sword out. And how badly is that stuff wrapped around the sub?
I mean, from that angle, it's hard to tell. I mean, you're not sure if it's wrapping all the way around or if it's just like draped over the top, but it definitely seems to be like entangled in the top portion of that.
Well, that guy submerging out of nowhere has me paranoid, so I'm just gonna stay where I am.
Okay.
And brace myself for anything that could
Are
happen.
you ready in action as well?
Yeah, I guess if he comes close to me, I want to take a swing at him.
Okay. Alright, so Chase moves in with the tide collar, and he's gonna shuffle along that backside
Right here?
with them. Yep. So you guys are gonna be all like four lined up. No, not that far. Just right there.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm just gonna keep him like.
Sure. All right. So Ziddix,
Uh-huh.
what are you doing?
I'm going next to Mo, and I'm gonna try to stealth. Can I try to find something to hide? Is there anything there?
I mean, this room is pretty bare. There's really not any sort of like things to hide behind.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I mean, it's just a wide open room.
Then I'm just going in and I'm putting my sniper away and I'm just grabbing my pistol.
All right. Okay. So you're just
Just by Mo, and I'm
ready.
just
waiting?
aiming at the water.
Okay, so you're
Okay.
ready to.
All right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
With my get 'em thing, since they readied their actions during that segment, when they do eventually use it, will they be able to still get that bonus roll since it'll be after that turn?
Until the start of your next turn, you and your allies gain a plus morale. So at the
Yeah.
start of your turn, it fades.
Okay.
So
even if they readied that action during that segment there, since they're not using
That
it,
doesn't.
no.
That doesn't matter.
it's
Until
now
you
back.
go next. Until you go next.
Yeah.
We still have it.
Right.
Right.
And it's
But
actually
it's
coming
my
up
turn
to
now,
you
So
now.
Yeah.
So
what
we
you're
don't have
saying
it
doesn't
Okay.
play into it at all. It's just.
Right.
Yep.
okay, cool. Well,
And
Uh,
since it doesn't specifically state that you, you don't lose. You have the ability to recast.
Oh,
it,
yeah.
like as a standard action.
Yep.
Or sorry, as a
As a
move action.
Movement.
Yep.
So you can stay in the doorway and do that same thing again if you wish.
Keep shot and get him the whole fight.
That's what we're doing.
Get him!
So what I'm doing,
get him,
I'm
get him,
ready
get
ready a shooty boy.
All right, yeah, because it was just a move action for the get 'em, and then readying your action. That's absolutely fine. So you ready in the doorway, and you see now the water level, which was just kind of cresting on the top. Actually, crests over the edges, and now you see that quickly, the tide coming in starts to push in all directions. You feel the water kind of rushing against your ankles as it's going out into the hallway and rejoining the rest, and it quickly is starting to rise at a much faster pace than you would think it should be. So, as the next round begins, you see the shape of the figure now, roiling up right where you guys are at, and as it's roiling up here, You guys go ahead and whoever had readied an action can certainly do so. And it's in melee range with you, so it will get an attack of opportunity against you.
That thing will?
In range of those two, but
No,
not
of-
us.
Of just you, because it's
Well,
within
yeah,
range.
rim and chase.
Because you're making. Oh wait, no, you had your sword out, so it's not.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
switched.
so that's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not getting an attack. If
Okay.
you were doing a
Will
ranged
my
attack.
cleave still trigger?
Your cleave?
Yeah.
What is your cleave? I don't.
Cleave gives me an additional melee attack on a successful melee attack.
If it's a successful melee attack,
I rolled an 18.
well, let me get to whoever's going, because you're rolling before I'm even getting to that point. So I'll allow this roll this time, but
I thought you just said roll.
no,
Everyone roll.
no.
Roll their ready to attack.
He's talking
getting
about.
ready to attack, and then we'll be getting to it. So like I'm not having you all roll at once. It's gonna be in order. So yes, I would normally start with you, so we'll do that. So for this time, I'll clarify it better, but
All right.
when I tell you to, then you can roll.
Gotcha.
So what was your total?
18.
18 hits.
Is
So
that
go
with
ahead.
the
and-
+1 from the
19 with a +1.
from the morale boost
Yeah.
From the gear.
from the game?
That'll be 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay.
And then,
So that's successful, and then you get to go again then?
yep, with my cleave.
It's
Yep.
15.
15.
Plus 1, plus...
9, or, wait. Yeah, 15, 19, another 20.
20.
Yeah.
20 to hit.
20 will hit.
That's a 1.
Plus your strength mod.
Oh, yeah. Plus my strength.
Because you're melee.
I forgot the other one. What was that, a 5?
Start.
Yeah, so 7.
7 and,
and then-
2.
No,
Or
no,
7 and 3, rather.
so total of 10.
Yep.
Total
Okay.
10.
All right.
I need more coffee. I can't math.
All right. So that's going to be the end of your attack. You ready to yours? So make a single pistol attack.
6, 8, 9.
How much total?
9.
9? Nope. Unfortunately, it does not. The bursting out of the water seems to throw you off, and you shoot, just a
Yep.
gout of water. Your shot.
18.
18. 18 hits.
Yes. 3.
3.
Mhm.
All right. And finally,
That is a 19?
Mhm.
Yeah.
19. Yeah.
Plus
that'll
5.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
Okay.
Roll for damage.
This is just my laser pistol, because that's what I brought out. Uno.
All right.
Well, yeah. Uno.
Yep. All right. So that's the barrage of pistol fire and with your solar weapon as you cut into it, and you hear it roaring out, and you hear another guttural like roaring right in your face now, and it's going to bring one of its watery fists a lot sizably bigger than the other one, and it's coming for you just.
Superman punches you?
got my
That
sword up.
is a 17 to hit against your KAC.
Yes.
That hits?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You take 13 points of bludgeoning damage as its fist hits you in the torso, and you fly backwards, and you smash into the bulkhead, and it just roars out at you. 10. You see just this watery assault just smash into him.
Firing twice.
Twice? All right, go ahead.
Because fuck this guy. First one is a 22.
22 hits.
Yep.
Roll for damage.
3.
All right, there you go. Second attack
Second one.
at a -4.
Yep. I rolled a natural 3, so.
All right. So the first shot hits, second one misses wide. Next person up is going to be Soren.
Alright. How, big is this guy? Is he 10 feet?
He is large,
Large.
so he's a size bigger than you.
Gotcha.
So question, does the damage on you burn your stamina points first and then your hit points?
Stamina first, then your hit points.
see.
I need to re-clear. I've been damaged in so long, I forgot how it worked.
Get up in there.
I want to do something kind of fancy. I want to try to jump inside of him and then trigger my
Inside of
supernova.
him?
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Let me see here, really quick.
Careful.
I want to be him.
We'll pause this.
So I've got a pretty good,
Hey, it's stupid. Thought about it, stupid, but it works.
pretty good athletics and pretty good acrobatics. So
You're pausing
Might be
time.
no.
Oh my god.
What's happening?
God's got to think
Alright,
about
so
the
what
you're
I'm
rules
trying
saying
to
is-
jump inside of him.
Yes.
Okay.
Be careful not to hit the ship with your supernova.
That's what I'm
Or the,
worried
or the
about.
gantry.
Well,
It's only a 10-foot
Jumping
explosion,
inside of it would
but-
first take an athletics check.
I like the idea though. I'm just saying.
One thing
We'll
I
see what
gotta
happens.
check though.
So what did the black hole do then? Do you
Black
is that something
hole-
you send
Well,
out
like,
or does
no,
it come
like
Black
from
hole
you?
pulls
things-
everyone
Pulls
Dude,
things
that's
to
to
awesome.
within 10 feet.
That's
I get
awesome.
to choose who I want that pulls them. Was it within 10 feet or pulls them 10 feet? Pulls them 10 feet.
Well, you should start with the black hole every time and then build up to solar because then you just suck them all in and then 3 rounds later you just
None of
blow
our
them
fights
all
have
away.
lasted long enough to do that.
They
So
will.
I've just been exploding on
Oh,
people
they will.
instead. That's what I'm planning. Though.
You're a dirty, dirty,
That's what my plan is for later on. Is to like,
Graveler
just pull
or
them in and
electrode.
blow them up,
just
Or just-
self-destructing all over people.
pull them in and use radiation, solar radiation, because that gives them radiation sickness
that
to all
triggers it.
creatures within 5 feet of me for a minute. Gives me like a radiation aura for a minute.
That includes us too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Remind
So I'm
me
not
not
gonna
to
use
go
it if
near
you. Guys
you.
are gonna be near me.
I know those effects.
And by the way, the DC is actually 10 plus half your Solarian level plus your Charisma modifier, so it's 15 actually, not 16.
Okay.
So,
10 plus half the character level or full character?
no, 10 plus half your character level plus your Charisma modifier. I don't really see anything as far as to prevent it, you know.
I mean, he's water with like kind of like a pseudo skeletal structure, right?
From what we saw.
Yeah, I mean it's
It's a more
basically
pronounced
as it looks. You know, it's just this swirling mass of humanoid shaped water.
Okay.
So it like you can make out bits of swirling like debris inside of it that basically kind of resembles like a skeletal function.
Is he like screaming at me right now?
Not really. It's just like I just punched you and it's like recoiling now.
Okay.
So
swim up his arm.
go ahead.
Sheave
He
spin.
just punched you.
So give
No, you
give
hook
me
shot
an
the core,
athletics check.
bring it out and slash it.
There we go. What?
Give me an athletics check because you're basically like, trying to jump into this swirling mass, and I mean it's like, you need the force to like penetrate.
Oh,
the
crit
side.
fail.
Okay, well it's not a critical
crit
fail, but what's your athletics check total?
8.
8. Okay, all right. So you try to jump into it, and you don't really gauge the like kind of speed at which it's
Right in the water.
it's twirling. So you actually bounce off of it.
Oh.
And you actually land in the water next to it. So you're in the water, basically right there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So
Calm
you,
down, Sprite.
you unfortunately you're like basically like you hit a man twice your size and you recoil backwards. Kind of
Gotcha.
thing.
How close am I to the sub?
The sub? The sub is basically like taking up this space right here. So like it's basically these 3 right underneath the whole length of that.
All right. And since I'm just gonna move this guy real quick.
So you're like bobbing on the surface, kind of. It's that short amount of time where you hit it, you fell back down, you like landed in the water, and you like kind of your back hit the back of the edge of the water pool, but because it's starting to not fill up, you didn't fall far enough that you submerged under the water. You just like you're now like on top of the water itself.
Okay. Well then, I'm gonna change my strategy, and I'm gonna launch a flare at him and try to blind him for a minute.
Okay, so the saving throw for that is what?
Reflex.
Reflex?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
So 10 plus half, 11,
Alright, so how much is it?
12.
Okay. He rolled a 22
Oh,
for a reflex save.
God.
So unfortunately, you like flare it out, and doesn't do anything on a fail, correct?
no, I
Okay.
don't think so.
All right. So then that's the end of your turn.
Yes.
All right. So that's going to be now Chase's turn. Chase is going to try and, he's passing to you, Skada. He passes the injured tide collar over to you,
Okay.
and he takes out his knife and he's just slashing wildly at the figure itself. So he's gonna make a melee attack. Unfortunately, his like swing almost seems like it hit a spinning grinder almost. You see his knife ricochet off, and he recoils from it. So like this swirling mass that's there. That's the end of his turn. Ziddix, you're up.
Am I?
Yep.
Am I now?
I'm grabbing my sniper rifle.
Can we hotwad this?
I got a hot water. This is stupid fast.
The bullets go stupid fast.
Okay.
Tomato lasers.
So you're gonna add with your sniper rifle. You're making a shot.
Yes, and I miss.
What's the total?
Days
It
mode.
is. Let me see. 6.
All right, that doesn't hit. So that's the attack. Are you using your full round to reload? What is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna reload.
All right, so that's your move action. So that's it for you. Skada, what are you up to? So he kind of pushed the tide collar onto you, and you're half bracing him in the door, so you're not encumbered by him, but you're right now probably the only thing that's actually holding him up.
I'll set homie down.
All right, so he slumps kind of down into the door frame, and you see him just now. You can see as the water's kind of pouring in, more of that green sort of is pouring from the bandage.
Green water.
Then could I use daze?
What is? Oh, okay, you're using the spell days.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It says the mind of a humanoid creature with a CR of
Oh,
3 or
that's
lower.
humanoid.
That's elemental.
Yeah.
But
well,
I mean,
you don't know that.
yeah, we don't
but-
know.
But just since it's the first time that you're using it, and going this point forward, it is not humanoid.
Okay.
That's
It is definitely
It's
not
worth
humanoid.
a shot.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
for right now, just because it's the first time you're looking it up, I'll say no.
No.
So
Okay. Then
what are you doing?
Toss me a heat.
I'm gonna throw down I was gonna get him down.
That, you can do that too.
I was gonna throw down and get him.
Survive another hit.
Shoot, you got 3 stamina, 12 hit points.
I mean, I've got 1 stamina too, but yeah, we're on a time crunch here, so
So yeah,
that's just.
so fucking yeah. I'm just
Nothing
gonna
hit.
just get him and then
All right. So get him as you move in action.
plus
shoot.
1. So 18, 19,
Oh, yeah,
22.
That hits. Roll for damage.
1.
1. All right. All right. So that's the end of your turn. Model Ra, who's you can see now Zedix, he's shaking, takes a shot, and
Gets a crit.
and misses. Unfortunately, those are 14 total.
I'm gonna be brave in the moment, just like
So he misses, and he's like, "We've got to get out of here." He's talking to you, and that's the end of his turn. Top of the order now. You see the waters now. You hear another groan and a kind of a deep thumping pop as the water now is starting to come in a lot faster. It's starting to get up to your guys' knee level, and you're having
so. I'm actively starting to tread water
it's
now.
starting to get to the point where you're starting to feel getting
Yeah.
lifted off.
Uh-huh.
All right. So as
You're
as
on the
it's-
opposite side of the room.
as it's now
Yeah.
doing that, and you're starting
condescending
you're
over there,
fully submerged in the water now, complete. It's up to your kind of neck and chin. You see now the elemental just is right in front of you, and you see it and you see it now just like turning in like a counterclockwise motion as suddenly it just submerges into the water, and you see this large whirlpool suddenly
fuck.
appearing.
Oh shit.
I need you to make a fortitude saving throw. You as well.
Yeah.
And Chase is gonna have to as well.
Yes, you
And I think
25 or
Oh
23.
wow. Okay.
that
That's
guy
good.
actually
That's
automatically
good.
fails.
did. Which one?
Him.
Dying, bro.
Yeah, he's stabilized. He's actually conscious, but
Dying,
yeah, I suppose he's gonna get a save.
Oops.
But here's
Actually, not
Chase's. Oh, he's fine.
18 for me.
18,
Yeah.
24 or 23.
23.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, 19 plus 4.
and over that. Wow. The very last moment you see him kind of drifting towards that figure. Actually, I need you to make one too. You see the tide collar like very weakly like grab the edge of the door frame.
What was it?
Fortitude.
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 As you suddenly feel a reverse of the water going out or going towards where that thing's now submerged and become a vortex. What'd you get total?
12.
12? All right. You actually take 6 points of bludgeoning damage, and you're actually pulled off your feet towards it, and you slip on the edge of the like jagged portions of the stairs, and you now you like start getting pulled into the vortex as it's starting to swirl. Tet, you see him leave his feet, and it's your turn.
So he's not currently visible, right? It's just a whirlpool.
It's a whirlpool. You know, you could tell that's where its form is at. Like your best guess, like that's where it was just a second ago, but you don't see like a physical form.
No, but neither these, because he didn't get pulled in, but he did. But he's not like in the center of the whirlpool.
But
Okay.
he is
Maybe a grenade
very
they
quickly
just dropped.
moving towards it.
Before he can get into the center of the whirlpool, I'm just gonna try and fire off a couple pot shots right into the middle of the thing, just like you son of a bitch.
Go ahead and do it.
First one is we still have to get him right. 22.
Yep, you still have get him.
22.
22 hits.
Come on, baby. 1.
1. All right.
Second shot is a 9.
9.
Yep.
9 does not hit.
Yep.
All right. That's the end of your turn. Soren,
Yo.
you're up. You are fully attuned, and you are neck deep in water.
Got 1 point now.
When did you? Oh yeah, you
The
used
flare.
it. You used it. You used the flare. All right. So you got a single point of attunement towards solar again.
Graviton.
Graviton? Okay, all right. Switching polarity. You see the silver sort of darken it, and now it's more of a deep kind of chrome, almost like black.
He's on the ball.
In there.
Graviton.
Graviton, actually.
And it is your turn, and you're now actively like holding onto the edge here, so you've like secured yourself for the time being, but you can still feel that pull.
Right. Can I see the water monster at all?
You see a vortex.
Let's just see the vortex.
Yeah. You just see a swirling whirlpool right next to you. You on the edge of it.
Grenades.
I'm out of grenades.
It would have been funny, if, like, actually at the point that we opened the doors and saw this thing standing in here, my energy shield would have just dropped like a scared reaction.
I guess I'm just gonna try to pull myself up to the platform
All
on
right.
top of it. So I can get
Athletic. I mean,
situated.
yeah, it's starting to get to be like you're floating
deep,
up.
or-
It's yeah. I mean, it would be like knee deep if you were up on there now.
So can I do this move or just like hold on to the ledge with one hand and like get my leg up and
Yeah, I mean, you can try and pull yourself up onto the platform now. It's like not like completely submerged, but you can go ahead and do an athletics check.
6. 13.
13. So with the pull of the whirlpool, you're not able to get all the way up onto it. You're just still holding on for dear life, but you're not able to pull yourself up. So yeah, just and there's like
I'm shooting the ocean, like I hate the water.
yeah, and you just hear this continuous like growing groan of metal and steel. Just
Is
This is about to get really bad.
was that my movement then?
yes, that would be.
Well, I'm gonna just take a stab in the dark, almost figuratively.
I stab the water.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a swing at the center of the whirlpool.
Go ahead.
So that is 15,
16.
16
plus your strength.
Plus my strength.
Plus the
Also
1.
plus
18.
plus the
Or the melee
item
attack
from-
bonus is
That
20.
hits.
20.
So you actually do hit it.
I hit the
Seems
water.
that there, well,
Or the
whatever
monster.
form is
Oh,
powering this thing you do.
5.
Okay.
So does that mean my cleave kicks in too?
Mechanically speaking, yes, it does.
Let's toss on another. Oh, that. Is that
No, that's a 3.
Yeah, it's a 3.
Yeah, that does not hit you. Your first one seems to find purchase.
Yep.
But your second one was more of just a slap on the water. You're just like,
So can you
"Ooh,
make
ah!"
another attack though?
With cleave, yeah.
But like for your whole round.
No.
Since we get two-
I have a
His
potential of,
attempt,
like,
like I
2
said, I ruled it that his
regular
attempt to
melee
try to get up on the
attacks.
platform was his move,
Ah,
so he couldn't do a
gotcha.
full action. So that's the end of
I
your.
get an extra attack.
That's the end of your turn.
Successful
It's going to be Chase's turn. He now takes his rifle out, tries to shoot at the middle of the
Get it, Chase.
form. That's not enough actually. So that does not hit. You see his bolt kind of like fire wide as he's like starting to kind of shift around as the water's like quickly starting to move up to his his knees. Zidix, you're up. And water, even by you, like in uniform fashion, it's starting to get up to like your knee area.
Well, I'm hustling over to Skada because I saw him go down, so I'm gonna do my movement and then I'm gonna do what I can to pull him up.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
Okey doke.
So, him, because he's trying to pull you up as you're like getting dragged in towards this thing.
Athletics,
Athletics.
18 plus 7.
Okay. Yeah.
25.
As you're like slipping, trying to grab a handhold, and your like hands are slipping on the metal, you feel a very, firm grasp reach as you just slide past the girder, and you see Zidix now just like one hand here, one like grabbing you as you're like pulling, and you're like
One mating
he's like
hand
holding
patting you
on
on
to
the
what
head.
remains of like
Plot twist, it's the
the
mating
what
hands.
remains of like the handrails
Yeah.
that are there, and he's just there's visible strain in his face, but you've secured him for now.
I got you, bud.
Yeah, you've just got sea foam in there, and you've come to realize this, and you have as well. This water is frigidly cold. Like you're thinking if your environmental protections aren't engaged, because you have to manually do that, then you're going to be really hurting here pretty quick. So that's you've secured him. It's your turn. So now he's got you grabbed. You can use your
Can I try
Yeah.
and pull myself up?
yeah, just like doing an action to lower the DC for you to do an athletics action. 'cause
Take
he's,
my
like,
hand.
kind of helping you.
My
strong hand.
It's cold! Ree!
God damn it.
Hey.
I got a 18.
Hey.
18? Oh yeah. We'll say that through the combined efforts of you two, using your movement, like all of your movement, you're able to get back up onto the kind of jagged edges of the girder without cutting yourself or anything like that. So now you're like standing up on this very rickety piece of like what remains of the platform, and you quickly see the water kind of like rushing up.
I'm
to
just all
meet you.
shaky and shivering. I was just like, much obliged, friend.
You should activate your
Yep.
environmental
So as a
system.
standard action, you can activate your environmental protections because you
Okay.
do have to do that. It
Standard
doesn't kick in automatically.
Sure. Yes.
So you go ahead and you
Yes.
use your action to do that. Okay, yeah, Poof, you do that, and you could feel the warmth kind of taking over you. I mean, you're like freezing, but you don't feel that outward influence of the cold. So that's the end of your turn. Model Ra now, seeing that the water is like rising up, he just and he like dives into the water. You see him like, and he's like now kind of swimming up to the top portion of the sub right there, and he's just kind of holding on to it, and he's like, we have to go, and he's like looking down, and he's like, the moon pool barrier has been breached, we're going to be flooded in no time. And that's going to be the end of his turn, as he's now like kind of on the back end of the submarine itself. Top of the order now, the water level rises, and at this point now you are fully swimming. It's getting to be about hip height. Actually, it's going to be about hip height now for you two, and you are still like you're starting to bob a little bit higher, but it's really getting cold for you. As you are in the water, you see now that the vortex comes to a halt, and its form now just like rears up like a singular tidal wave, and you see its fist now just rearing up and like coming like a crashing wave towards you. It's going to make an attack against you.
I'm down.
That is a 23 to hit.
Oh god, yeah.
All right. You are going to take 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
You're still okay.
You're up for now.
What are you
But
at?
I think you're still.
You said 10?
Yep, 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm at 5.
5? Okay. All right. So you see the creature slam into Soren, and he like hits the edge of the moon pool, and you see a very visible gout of red blood just out of his mouth, and it's like you feel probably 1 or 2 ribs crack from its just this tremendous force breaking into you, pushing you against the edge of the moon pool.
I just want to assure everyone that it was just the strawberry cereal I ate this morning.
More red water.
More red.
All right. 10.
I know what that is. So
You're now floating, and it's frigid.
Copper flavored.
And you see gout.
Gout?
What are you doing?
I'm going to save myself from that. I'm going to activate
Bug
my
out.
environmental
Okay.
controls.
All right, your environmental suit protections engage, and you're still shivering from the a little bit that you've been
I'm still
exposed to.
cold, but yeah,
no.
it's not as
Oh.
bad.
Yeah.
I want to try and swim over to the sub and just get to like the ship itself so that I can be closer to it.
All right, so you're trying to swim. Okay, so you're not you don't have a swim speed by default, so you need to make an athletics check.
Okay.
Does the sub have a
Oh,
airlock?
that's good.
Yes, it does on the top. That's what you guys came out of. It's still like bobbing on the surface, but it's quickly approaching the top.
Athletics?
Yep.
15.
All right, 15.
Yeah. I have a -1 to athletics. That's good that I made this.
Very quickly. That is just enough.
Holy shit.
You with the water quickly rising. Luckily, the whirlpool wasn't engaged because it will be a lot harder. But you do have the ability to swim.
How
So
far does
go
it
ahead.
with swim speed?
yep, goes up to your swim speed, or excuse me, not your swim speed, but
Okay, so
the. Oh my gosh!
Is it normal speed?
Quick pause.
move right there.
So yes, the swim is where is that? Sorry, I have that for you guys. You receive a +8 bonus to athletics if you always do that, but yeah, you can move your full swim speed while swimming, and you can use a run action while swimming. All right. Without a swim speed does not automatically impart the ability to breathe underwater, obviously. Okay, so yeah, you just move your regular movement. You
Yep.
just need to pass the athletics check to be able to swim.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So that's the way that works. And then I have the DCs on, what it's like to swim. So you go ahead and you're swimming now, and you get to the edge of the submarine, and I'm guessing that you pathed, that you didn't run by him. How did
Yeah,
how did
I went like here, there. Or like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Okay, so you would have swam past him.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean, just
30. That's where I can get
okay. Well,
without going right by him.
yeah, that'll be fine. So you like swim onto it, and you see the the front viewport, and you see Theta 3 like he's like quickly like smashing on the controls, and you like usually hears the audible like as you like slide across the top, and he like looks up at you, and he's like staring at you, and like looks at the kind of like figure to the side, and he just like points at the back. And he like gets up and just starts visibly runs to the back.
Sheer terror and panic is fueling my swim to the sub, and I'm just like,
It's like fuck. All right, that's the end of your turn. Soren, you're up.
a heart attack is just as
Second
likely
point
to
of
kill me as
graviton.
this thing is.
Yep, second point of graviton. And
And now you're like bobbing on the surface, freezing like crazy.
oh shit, I gotta activate my boops. My boops. I'm turning on my boops.
All right, so your standard action you use to activate your environmental controls.
Yes.
So you're no longer exposed to the elements. So you have your movement.
gonna stand and deliver. Can I use my movement to attack him?
No.
No.
Nope.
Shit. Okay.
Your movement is for moving.
All right. Well then.
That makes sense.
Your movement is for moving.
Shit.
Can't argue with that.
Can I go try to get over to this guy, or is he in the way?
I mean, now it's the water level's starting to rise, so he's it's getting hip height on that level.
Right.
So I mean, if you start moving, you could try and it's not going to really take that much, but you are going to have to try and do an athletics check to swim.
Okay. I'm down for that.
Well,
try to
before
move
you move,
Yeah, I'm
just do the athletics check first.
I'd say that's a pass. 26.
26, that'll do. All right, so you got to swim up to your movement.
Bad one day.
All right, so you pass, by him.
Boom.
So you see now the kind of semi-conscious form of the tide color now just like floating. And he's like just, luckily the water is like splashing in, so he's got something to breathe.
Right. Can I reach out and just kind of grab his foot?
You've
Or is
already
that it?
used your action and then your
Reach
movement,
out
so you don't
and
really have
touch
anything to do
foot.
on this turn.
Gotcha.
All right,
That's it.
that's the end of your turn. All right.
That's it. That's all.
All right. So as he sees you swimming past, Chase, he's going to try and move around that way, and he seems to be trying to garner the thing's attention. So he makes his athletic check. So he's going to run around that side, and he's actually going to draw an attack of opportunity from it.
Soren, I know that you'll sacrifice yourself to save the rest
As
of
he
us.
as he moves
Remember
around the
me
side,
forever.
you see it swirl up, and it fist swings towards him. He like slides underneath it, and you see the bulkhead just boom, and like a huge portion of it just caves through, and you can see like the hallway beyond. And as he like slides back up, you see him train his rifle. He takes a shot at it. That is just gonna hit.
Ooh.
Oh wait, not that one. Deals 4 damage to it. You see a portion of it blast out, and you see it screaming out in terror. And you can see he's like shaking as he just like looks at the rest of you guys, and he's like, "Get to the ship!" And he's now like he's like trained, and he's garnered its attention pretty heavily. It's gonna be Zidik's turn.
I'm gonna.
The water at this point is starting to get to the bottom of the remaining gantry that you guys are on.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to make a running jump and leap over to this part of the gantry.
All right. You'd get to like the edge there, and like one square beyond. So athletics check.
Okay. $18.
18. Yeah, that's enough. So you see him like the chattering teeth of Skada next to you, and you just see Zidix like without even saying anything, like does a standing leap that he just covers 15 feet basically.
I'm just
And
like,
yeah, it's like a standing 10-foot jump.
I give you a salute though.
And yeah, and you make it successfully. So you like
And then
land.
I go like this, like, we're going. And
So-
I'm holding my, well, maybe I should attack. Yeah, I'll attack. I'll
Alright.
shoot it with my
So you see it now focusing on Chase. So yeah, you
Yeah.
can go ahead and like we'll say with your pistol.
Well, I had my shearing rifle out.
Okay. I just for some reason I thought that was
Yeah, the last
like a
attack
full
I did,
action.
the last attack was with my rifle.
Yep, and you had not moved, so you reloaded.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's fine.
That's a 19.
No, 19. That'll do
Plus
it.
my 5.
Yeah,
So yes.
yeah, that'll be fine. So go ahead and roll for damage.
Yup. 7.
7.
Mhm.
Nice. You see a large portion of it like blast outwards. You see Chase like has to like cover himself so like this large shrapnel kind of like storm like doesn't hit him, but you see like it reels up behind that, and you see it's like what amounts to a head turn in your direction. Just you're like a guttural kind of like yell.
This was unexpected.
That's the end of your turn. Skada.
I'm gonna use my standard action and use Inspiring Boost for Sean.
All right. So he's definitely been
Hurt by a significant threat.
Since the beginning of your last turn, you actually haven't. Because the mechanics of the way it works is if somebody's been damaged since the end of your last turn by a significant enemy, which is just an enemy in this case, that's who you can use your stamina points on. So they have to have been hit.
Can you ready that, or does it have to be on his turn?
Wow.
I mean, it has to be between like the end of his last turn and his turn now. It's on your turn, but the mechanics of it from what it read as is they need to have been damaged in that time. It's just kind of like they got hit, and then you're like, no, buddy, you can do it, and you're like,
So he took
having
that
them rallying.
last bit of damage was
The round
before my
before,
last turn?
the round before, because his last round he had not moved its space, so he didn't get an attack of opportunity.
Yep. So then, I'll jump.
All right.
Cross.
Since it's already used its reaction, or it's like reaction, we'll quote that. It's not attacking you, so athletics check, and just go ahead and do that.
Fuck me. 6.
Okay, 6 total.
Well, I mean it's 5 plus my 1.
Your athletics total is just 1. Okay. All right.
If
So
it was acrobatics.
you let me check really quick because I mean if acrobatics does allow for something like this, I mean it actually might.
You gotta be pretty dexterous, I guess. To
Let me just take that really quick because I don't want to shoehorn you into having to do something that might not be.
I feel like
You're not like moving a
either
boulder.
or.
Balance, escape, fly,
But you do need the strength to be able to jump further.
right. Tumbling, but that's more of doing that. Yeah, athletics it specifically says jump underneath there.
So 6.
So 6 total.
Yeah.
Okay, you try and jump, you shortchange it really bad.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You see him doing a standing 10-foot leap. You're like, I got this. You jump, and you just half the distance, and you plunge into the water. Luckily, you engage.
After I
your-
shoot, I look down like, what?
Yeah, just poof, and you're just like, fuck.
You being just like cocksure and shit.
Yeah, so that's your move. That's that's gonna be that. That's part of your move action, so it's not your action like your standard action. So you still have a standard action.
Okay. If I were to shoot at him, would that trigger like a?
Technically speaking, that like.
Because I'm right there.
Yeah, you're right there. He's already used his reaction. That's why you didn't get attacked in the
so
first place.
I
So I mean,
in theory.
Blast him.
yeah, I guess I haven't really looked at where it can if it gets an attack of opportunity that more than once, but I doubt it does. So I'll say you can take a free shot.
Yeah.
However, you are now
In the water.
you're in the water, so you actually take a minus to it from shooting at him. So it's a -1.
Okay.
It's not too bad.
Well, in that case,
That
though,
was.
5, 6, 7, 8, so 7.
Yeah, doesn't hit at all. Unfortunately, you're trying to recover and swing your pistol. Your round just shoots and hits one of the walls. So
At least
that's
I'm consistent.
swimming underneath the gantry and now coming up next to where you are trying to swim to. Model Ra now is next to the stack of the where the hatch is, and as he's you see him kind of hammering on the top of it. You see the top open up, and you see Theta 3 there, and now he is looking and he's seeing you guys all, and he sees Model Ra, and he's like, get inside, and he pushes himself up, and he now kind of is straddling the edge of it, and actually Theta 3 is going to take a shot at the with a pistol. He hits.
Would it be a team player?
He deals 4 damage.
Way to be.
All right. So you see the creature. Its form recoils. It is looking pretty hurt.
Hell yeah.
So that's the end of that turn, and you with one final. You see now the water level just quickly rises, and in the span of a few seconds, the entire room has been submerged.
We're underwater now?
You in your kind of like front. You like thought, thank God, you know, you're on the sub, and all of a sudden, you're like, wait, and you like getting to the top, and you're just like, and you're like, even though your environmental protections are like, you know, it prevents you from, you know, drowning.
This is my worst
you're like,
nightmare.
yeah, this is worst case scenario for you. Like, oh fuck. So now, you guys are actually all going to be basically, in this case, everybody's going to be kind of floating up. This guy's going to be, yeah, right about, we'll say right about there. So you're up in the air. You are kind of in a similar spot back here, Sean. Floating up in the air. Actually, I will be able to just do this. Do this with similar platforms. And you're now all kind of like floating up, and we'll just, for the sake of not having platforms all over it, you guys are going to be in a similar state, and you see, you know, now like Theta 3's like it's starting to bob up, and it's not completely at the top, but he's like, you know, got maybe a foot above his head, so it's very nearly to the top, where he's just like, we have to leave now, and it's going to be the top of the round, and the elemental swirling in place sees you,
I'm going down, boys.
and it's, you know, in this short kind of span, you see its fist disappear under the water, and you see this rushing of water coming up towards you. That is going to be a 21.
Bye. We don't know.
That is going to be 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Down.
You down?
Alright. No.
All right. So you see the like fist disappear, and then suddenly just this pillar of water just takes Soren up and just pins him against the ceiling. You see just this tremendous outpour of blood. Everything goes dark. And you know, just before everything goes dark, you hear a fair amount of crunching as like bones crack, and you just see him slump down and just completely submerge into the water. All right, that is the end of the elemental's turn, and you just hear like now, and it's like almost as it submerges down into the depths. You just hear this echoing. Tet, you're like swimming at the top, and you just I would imagine.
Can I like make a will save or something to not have a panic attack in this moment? Like,
I mean, you don't technically have a panic attack going on, but I mean, for flavor, if you want to, you know, do something like that, certainly. I mean,
this is kind of this is like legitimately my worst nightmare. The sea's coming alive to kill all of us. And
yeah, will save.
I just saw Soren get punched against the ceiling.
Yeah, absolutely.
By water.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay.
Plus nothing. So
Yeah, I mean 20 plus. You're gonna be fine.
Okay.
You know, you're like, so you see Soren just get smashed into the ceiling, and you know you steel
You
yourself.
got an
somehow.
iron will, so you should do something
Yeah.
about it.
I'm gonna do something about it. I'm gonna get into the ship.
Okay, so give me an athletics check as you just start just mad dogging it towards it.
It's 15 again.
15
Yep.
just barely makes it. So you're like paddling like crazy, and Theta 3 sees you, and without even saying a word, he like throws his hand down and just drags you up and throws you backwards with surprising strength, and you just tumble down. You actually take 2 points of damage as you like just fall like 5 or 6 feet. And,
He
like,
actually
land on
did.
your side.
He actually has done like the first point in hit damage in like a long time to me. That's funny.
So you just in a heap, and Mo Del Ra is there, and he like grabs you and he starts like kind of pulling you inside.
Probably not.
So that's the end of your turn. Soren.
Can I use a resolve point to try to stabilize myself?
Yes, I believe you just outright get stabilized when you burn a resolve. I want to double check that. So,
In the midpoint between here and the grave. Soren just says, no! And wakes back up.
Fuck off, blackness.
I say no!
See the Grim Reaper
No
just slowly
darkness.
floating towards me.
He's just hanging out. He's just like on his cell phone. He's like, we doing this right now, Soren? Like, nah, I'm
Maybe
good.
later.
okay, so you
don't
can
get
use
up.
them to stabilize. If you're
Don't
stable, you can use
Thanks,
resolve
Ted.
points to regain consciousness and stay in the fight. So you can spend a number of resolve points equal to 1/4 your maximum. So what's your maximum resolve points? 5. So it's a
So-
quarter of it would just be 1, because it doesn't. So you immediately stabilize. This means you're no longer dying, but you remain unconscious and at 0 HP.
Right.
So you are unconscious. You are not dying. You are bobbing like a cork at the top of the water. Chase is up. He's floating at the top. He just is, saw you get slammed in, and he just aims, and he's trying to take a shot at this thing. Just barely hits it. All right. So, seeing the tiny portion of it poking above the water, he shoots, does 3 damage. This thing is looking really rough.
If you didn't hit me, would have been able to do a quadruple slash
Does your-
potentially.
Yeah, your team get wiped out, right?
6.
When I lose consciousness.
You are floating at the top now, like you're above where the gantry is, and you're like bobbing in there. Do you have your environmental protections on?
Nope, not now.
No. Okay.
You
So this is
an
the-
exoskeleton on?
I
I always thought these were rocks.
This is-
Fortitude.
Yes, I need you to actually make a fortitude saving throw.
Okay.
It's a giant.
No, you didn't pay that close attention. It's just like some rocks.
Storm King's Thunder, bro. It's all about giants.
Which is awesome, by the way.
10.
You're off.
10. Okay.
You're someone I like.
Before you're, before you're able to really realize it, you're like, you're like starting to seize up. It's like hypothermia. You take 3 points of cold damage.
Okay. So that just keeps going straight from my
Stamina.
stamina.
Yeah. See, this is not just
Mats.
cold. This is like extreme.
I'm
depths
cold.
Cold. Like you are. This is hypothermia sets in, like almost instantly. So,
Yeah.
what are you doing on your turn?
I'm shooting this guy.
All right. So you're floating and you're not engaging your environmental protections.
Yep.
You're just going to shoot.
I'm
Okay.
shooting him.
All right. So go ahead and take a shot.
Rescue me.
I'm getting there. I didn't mean to roll that, but that's a natural 20.
There's a natural 20.
That's a natural 20.
What's the total on that?
It's a natural go fuck yourself.
25.
25. All right. That is at past its KAC and then some. So you double the damage dice roll.
Can I have another
D10.
Take 100.
It's the same thing effectively, but
Yeah.
either way.
Whatever.
You'll just get to add
7.
How much total?
2. 7, 8, 9.
9. All right. So, how is it that you end the existence of this elemental?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just freezing.
Buggy boy.
But I study my shot, and I just saw Soren just get pummeled by this thing. I'm like, don't do that to my friend.
Smile, you son of a.
Yep. I try to aim right for its like the core of what I can see.
Right, and it's really kind of like, very, even though it's like thrashing about, it's moving a lot slower, and you see like your opportunity. Boom, your shot rings out. You see its core pierced, and you see it just, it reaches out to like the ceiling, and you just see it seem to join the water, and there's this roiling sort of like ripple effect to it. But that is the end of that
And I have my movement.
figure. So you have your movement.
I'm gonna help. I'm just going
You-
back now, swimming to help either this dude or Soren.
And the tide caller at this point now is like, he's like kind of been swimming at the top, and you see him now just like, sees the creature defeated, and he just, looks at you, and he's just like, I think I can make it. Get your friend.
Okay.
And he like swims.
I go get my friend.
Can
yeah.
Tyler or Ziddix even see me in the giant cloud of blood I'm floating in?
I see red water, so I'm like,
yeah,
that must be Soren.
Yeah.
Just reach in the
So,
middle.
You're in there somewhere.
did you
He's
engage
like
your
Soren.
environmental protections?
I did.
Okay, so you're fine.
I'm like the only one that
I need you to make another fortitude saving throw. As combat has effectively ended, but because of the severity of this, for you trying to swim him back over, Chase makes it on board. Actually, I'm going to roll this just because. Yep, he's fine. So he makes it on board.
That's
Fortitude
7.
save. 7? All right, you take another. Doesn't increase. Oh, actually, it's going to be not a D64. You take another point of non-lethal damage.
Okay. I'm still in stamina.
And
Stamina position.
yes.
For just a bit of flavor, did anything in my pack get damaged? 'Cause he like sandwiched me with that blow.
I mean, you have no idea. You're unconscious. So
I sense
you'll
that my
you'll
things are
find out
broken.
when you awake to the feeling of several bones piercing some very important parts.
I can feel my ribs
You
scraping
see,
my armor.
you see the red water pouring out from like underneath his suit, through his like mouth, like parts of his like.
I've seen you like this
face.
before. You'll be fine.
You get no response.
This only makes you stronger.
All right, so
I was maybe
you
thinking about
swim
you
over
there.
and
just see, like, knuckle marks
You
in my
see
armor.
you see Theta 3's now dived. He's dove in, and he like swims underneath the tide column. He like just throws him up and over. And luckily, you see Model Raw at the top, and he like grabs him and he like pulls him in. And one by one, you guys quickly get pulled in. I need you to make just a quick athletics check just for swimming.
Just for swimming. Ooh.
Did I? Athletics. check for
It'll
you.
be 19.
Yeah, you're fine.
B.A. Brackus.
So
BA Barangs.
B.A. Merengue.
That's a 19.
yeah, you'll be fine with that. With athletics.
Plus a
Merengue.
7.
All right. So right as the water is about to crest into the top of the submersible, you guys all get in just as Theta 3, like, you know, the water's starting to pour in. He like closes it shut, and you just see this torrent of kind of water just pour down into it. And Chase, who's already in the front, teeth just chattering like crazy. He's like, "Fuck this place!" And you see him just engage the effects, which luckily, through the process of the room flooding, the gantry actually like lifted off of it. And you hear, and you know he goes down. You hear a as like he just forces the submarine through underneath, and you guys go ahead and you're leaving. In the process, Model Ra stabilizes you.
I already was. I already was, wasn't I?
Well, you were stabilized, but he brings you back to consciousness.
Oh. I was going to
And
use my unconsciousness as a smoke opportunity.
so, sure, if you're wanting to do that, that's fine. I mean,
Okay.
whatever. So, in the preceding, a couple of minutes, you see the facility as you guys are floating out and leaving it. You see, kind of as you're like, kind of like swinging around, the very tiny motes of like lights as you guys are kind of moving away. That were the guiding lights from before. Flicker and turn off,
Makes sense.
and there's just pure darkness.
This place is pretty much borked. Like
This place is, yeah.
they're gonna need some serious extraction.
We inadvertently stumbled upon what I originally wanted to do.
Yeah. No. Yeah. We kind of unknowingly killed more than one bird with however many stones.
So, as you guys are leaving the area, what is it that you guys are doing? You guys are now back on the submersible,
Recuperating.
recuperating. Okay.
trying to bury the hatchet with Thea 3 after facing my worst fear and just like, oh, man, you only live once. I just like
He's like a little less standoffish. He's like, listen, there's time for that later. We need to just get out of here. As he's like now looking, like he looks back and he sees the condition that the tide collar is in.
Yeah, I'm tending
and,
to tide collar.
And the state that Soren's in as well. He's unconscious, and Model Ra, who is like, working on him. You see the tide caller now is just like, you can't really tell, if he's like, his like skin is not like, the color is faded really, but his breathing now is very shallow. Model Rob, secured him with the emergency kind of breather that he had available, and he's just kind of sitting there on one of the spare seats, and he's just like holding his side, and you notice that like the bandage that was there definitely needs to be redone.
Okay.
So I mean that you go ahead and go
I'll rummage
process.
through their submersible and like find some gauze or
Yeah,
medical tape.
Model like he like just without even like looking, he just like taps the side of his pack, and it like pops open like one of the sides, and you see.
You gotta
like,
tell me where you bought that.
Certainly, if we get out of this without any more interruptions.
Well, he's being well tended to, so I'll let you deal with him.
Fair enough. And he makes sure that Soren's at least in a stable enough condition.
Yeah, I'll go over to Soren too.
And he's just the severe bruising that you see like kind of creeping now steadily out of the bottom of his like collar. You can see Model Ra's tried his best to at least like have the wounds that he's got right now, but his he's taken his like armor off, and you can see like there's actually like a bone kind of sticking out of the side of his ribs.
It's my wishbone.
It's a kind of a gruesome sight, because you can see like his breathing now, which is like he's breathing is very labored, and he's just
Are you in labor?
I'm awake now, right?
um.
Kind of.
It takes a better part of like an hour, but eventually he does get you to consciousness, and being awake hurts right now. Like it really hurts.
Living
you
is
feel
pain.
you feel just the sharpest pain every time you like move or breathe, right in your lower left side. You like kind of like touch there, and you're like, yeah, and then you feel like this sharp point, and you're like,
I just want to gasp, like,
Just-
tetmeds.
Just technical.
Deadmeds.
What would hyperleaf do?
Hyperleaf?
How do I administer
Oh,
that?
gosh.
How do I administer hyperleaf?
Just like chew it up and spit it in your palm.
I
And
baby
rub
bird it
in
to you?
your
Baby bird it?
wounds.
Oh.
You're about to be tripping balls and in a lot of pain.
Well, it gives
It'll
him.
knock me out.
It gives it stamina. It gives you stamina or something.
Does it?
Yeah.
Give me a second,
Tetmeds.
because I will need to find that. I didn't think you were going to be using it.
It's like drugging a dog for a long distance car trip. It's like this is not what we would like to do, but it's kind of our only option. That's 10 meds.
No, I understand completely. Gosh damn it.
I just like fucking people. Ted was funny. He's a good guinea pig. Guinea Asoki.
Excuse me?
That
I
is.
take offense to that?
The Ted offensive.
The Ted offended. Let's see here. God, where did it go?
Kaboom!
It really doesn't actually state what hyperleaf specifically is. I would just think of it as like space weed.
It's got a narcotic effect.
It's a very some people use
Is
it
it
as
edible?
a sedative.
Edible?
Sure.
Sure.
You basically made it into like a pellet. It's like
Yeah.
an edible pellet.
I get my mortar and pestle and crush that sucker up and then form it into with my mating hands. Make a little pebble.
Okay. God damn it. Alright, so
And then I just put it on his tongue and shut his mouth for him and just start moving his jaw up and down.
Thanks, man.
So after a very short amount of time, you're just like starting to feel, less pain, and then you're like, I'm not really feeling anything at the moment, and you're just like, and through like just kind of blood loss, you just bob out of consciousness again. And
At least he's comfortable.
I'm just dreaming of a fucking water elemental just using me as a punching bag.
It's just dreams.
Okay, so yeah, it says that it's morale bonus again to save against mind affecting effects. I just feel like it might, like it just clouds your kind of like conscious thoughts. So, you
I'm still
through
feeling pain, but
through the tremendous
register
amount of through the tremendous amount of pain and stuff, it's starting to get numb just because you're starting to lose feeling and things like that.
I just wanted to take that off my
And
equipment.
you're out.
God bless shock.
Yeah. So, luckily you're stabilized, but Model Ra's like, we have to get him some help as quickly as possible. And so, in that process, you guys are going back. What would you like to do? Just kind of as closing up, because we'll pick up next time as you guys are going back. This is about a 12-hour journey.
Well, I
back
want
to there.
I want to go through.
We need to discuss all the data you found, Ted.
I was going to go through a lot of that day as much as I can.
And you
Yeah.
need to talk with Skada or Soren. I don't know. You guys should definitely be the ones to tell them about what we found down there.
Well, and let's keep in mind, like I was saying before, like we know more than almost anybody right now about what's going on with the data that we have. So we need
It's sensitive.
if we don't need to immediately hand over all data, let's keep it close to the vest. Like let's be wise about what we keep as our advantages.
And
So we need to discuss what to leave out. Should we talk about the relic they found, or should we talk about the photobacteria that it caused?
Well, dying bro will probably tell him everything if he survives.
and hyperleaf helps for an hour, so it wears off after an hour. So you're kind of like
Shit.
He doesn't.
1 hour of goodness, but then 11 hours of man, it's just a really shitty ride.
Below my resolve points to try to like mitigate it.
Well, I mean, it's not affecting you. Like you're not in a state of delirium, but I mean, you are in effect incapacitated because
I got a rib sticking out. And
you got a rib. Yeah, I mean, you basically were just smashed around like a rag doll.
Yeah.
So to say that there's a broken bone is the least of your worries at the moment, but you are
What bones aren't broken?
your arms, your legs,
My skull, maybe.
your skull, as far as you know.
Arms, legs, skull.
So, I'm still at 0 HP then, right?
Yes. Model Ra's burned through the majority of his medical supplies.
And me. I used some of his too.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Theta 3 and Chase don't really have the supplies needed to treat your wounds. This is something that's going to require a medical facility.
So I'm just gonna try to not let shock kill me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean he's watching over you through that 12-hour period.
Good.
Basically, he's just telling you to try and get as much rest as possible, and he's gonna. He assures you guys that he thinks you'll be able to make it.
Okay. Will it be more comfortable if they took my armor off, or?
Oh yeah, no,
Will they
he
not be
took your
okay.
armor off because he
Yeah,
needed
I
to treat
remember.
your
Right.
internal injuries,
Right.
or at
That's
least
where I
like
saw
to
your
try and
bone.
stabilize you.
Okay, good.
I saw your bone sticking out of your rib.
Yeah. He's since gingerly bandaged that, but like it's basically
Still
you are spending 12 hours laying on the ground
Yeah.
because he can't move you without it basically just a rib floating around.
Right.
And that's the one poking out. That's not to say that there's more than one busted.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so the Tide Caller might tell him what he knows, but he doesn't have the data. Only I have the data right now.
That's
Yeah,
true.
and the
So-
Tide Caller, unfortunately, is in a similar state where he's he's got
he's
obviously internal injuries. And
Not in the best shape
He's also
to be given a debriefing.
kind of in and out of consciousness.
Quite honestly, when we get back, I am 110% ready to tell these guys, yes, we did what you asked. Will we give you what you want? No, not right now, until we know more. We've done what they wanted. We can be totally, menial about it, or, amenable, but we don't have to, we don't have to hand them everything and just, completely bend over,
So what do we tell them?
nothing until we can maybe know what they want to do with this information. Let's just give them little bits by bits. Yes, we got there. Okay, what was it like? Not in great shape. Explain more. Step by step.
So just play it by ear.
And if we hit a roadblock that it's like, okay, big warning signs, then we can stop feeding them information. Or if nothing's wrong, then we keep going with it. I've worked with this guy long enough that he's taught me a couple tricks about. I might not be very good at talking to people, but I understand how you should do it in certain situations.
Okay, as long as you guys aren't acting like you're being withholding, that's totally fine. If you can bluff
Well,
that,
we are being withholding.
we are, but we don't want them to know we are withholding.
I'm not going to be doing the talking.
That's
but
what I'm saying.
That's why I'm
No.
trying to discuss it with you guys
And-
before we get there.
And we
You
can,
don't want to seem like we're not being
And
forthright with these guys.
just
'cause
so-
we're in bad
just-
graces with them
Oh,
already.
just so you guys
Talking.
don't get too deep into it now, we can have you guys like discuss that a little bit more next session. Just so that way, it's like kind of a preamble as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll end it on that.
Cool.
And you guys each scored yourselves 600 experience.
Oh, hell yeah.